How you get the idea to make a film about Mykolaïv?
Well, Robbie and I have worked on a few documentaries about Ukraine since the war began for the BBC, and we visited Mykolaïv previously, but somewhere we wanted to return to, but all the more reason for coming back because our home city of Glasgow has now been twinned with Mykolaïv. So although we were intending coming here, the twinning arrangement has added to that, and it's a good reason to come now.
Мы с Робби снимали несколько серий документальных фильмов про Украину и были в Николаеве в прошлые разы. И, в принципе, у нас было намерение вернуться еще раз, но сейчас поводом стало то, что наш родной город Глазго стал городом побратиму Николаеву, и поэтому они здесь.
It's not the first time we've been here before. We visited the city September 2022. But obviously there are connections between our two cities. I mean, shipbuilding, here we are standing on the banks of the river. I can see the shipyard cranes from here. So, it reminds me in some ways, obviously, of our home city in Glasgow, which is famous for shipbuilding as well. But we were here before, yes, and visited it, when things were just as intense, I think.
Мы приезжали в Николаев в сентябре 2022 года. И вот сейчас мы снова здесь, и мы стоим на берегу реки и видим элементы кранов и судостроительный завод, и все это очень напоминает наш родной город Глазго, поэтому мы здесь, и да, это не первый раз в Николаеве. What do you like the most about Mykolaïv?
I like being near the sea. I like being near water. But I don't know, there is a feeling here, I think, it does remind me, not just because of shipbuilding, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of our own city, Certainly meeting certain people here, certainly the characters we seem to meet here remind me an awful lot of Glaswegians in some way. You say so?
Yeah, I mean, we love Kiev, but when we got out of the car last night, you could smell the sea, and it was great. Also, the swimming is very good here in February.
February swimming is renowned, apparently.
Yeah. Нам нравится Николаев, потому что нравится быть возле воды, нам нравится приезжать к морю, и, в принципе, здесь много ассоциаций с Глазго. Мы очень любим Киев, но вот вчера почувствовали запах моря, и, говорят, февральские купания в Николаеве особо хороши. What the main topic of your film about Mykolaïv in general, or especially about shipbuilding?
I'll let Robbie answer that one since he's the director.
Well, it's going to be a film that. Our short film that we're making in Mykolaïv now is going to focus on shipbuilding, and the reason that we're making this film now is to commemorate the new connection between our city and Mykolaïv. So we're going to talk about the history of shipbuilding here and the events that have happened during this phase of the war. But we might talk about some of the older historical connections between Scotland and this area. For example, in around 1790, there was a Scottish mercenary admiral who was employed by Catherine the Great in her war against the Turks, and his name was John Paul Jones. And he's a Scottish guy. He also is the guy who founded the American Navy during the Revolutionary War in around 1776. So there are some really interesting connections that we'd like to portray.
Тот короткометражный фильм, над которым они работают сейчас, это прежде всего про судостроение и напомнить, подчеркнуть взаимосвязи и побратимство между городами Глазго и Николаев. И на будущее хочется снять более развернутое кино и углубиться, возможно, в исторические какие-то моменты, потому что очень много связывает Глазго и Николаев. Например, был такой морской адмирал, нанятый Екатериной Великой, Джон Пол Джонс, который воевал против турков, и, собственно, он во время американской революции, американской войны организовал, по сути, флот США. Ну и хочется поискать еще больше объединяющих моментов между Глазго и Николаевым. What can you say about Mykolaïv, like a touristic city?
I think it's got the potential. I mean, I don't know how much tourism you've had here in the past, but it's got the potential to have tourism here. You know, I don't see any reason why not. I think any city that sits on the banks of a river and near the sea has got potential for that, without question.
Он считает, что у Николая очень большой потенциал в развитии туризма. Он не знает, что тут происходило до войны, но любой город, который расположен возле реки, возле воды, возле моря, всегда имеет большой потенциал развить туристическую сферу.
For tourism, you need peace.
Да, ну нужен мир, как он говорит, победа желательно. We need victory.
You know, I've witnessed this here already in Mykolaïv. I was very impressed by the February swimming, and I think that could catch on as a quite a popular recreational pastime for tourists, if they're crazy enough.